Congratulations, you did it. You are a substitute teacher. Now, I'm about to walk y'all through all my mistakes, all the things that I've done to just have an effective day being a substitute teacher. Now, if this your first day, oh my God, I remember my first day. I was so nervous. I was like, I don't know what these kids going to think of me. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if I'm going to make a whole bunch of mistakes, if I'm going to look crazy. I don't know what to expect. But honestly, guys, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine, especially after you watch this video. I'm going to give you guys some tips so y'all be straight and dandy, okay? So first things first, let's talk about professional wear. So now usually, like for example, I have on a turtleneck. I'm always wearing turtlenecks. If you watch all my videos, you see me at a different classrooms. I always got on a turtleneck. I got on a vest. I got on a long coat with a hood, but I have a little vest on. I have some black leather pants. Let me show y'all. I got some black leather pants with some boots. Guys, just make sure you don't gotta be all overly dressed up. You do want to dress professional. Dress how you honestly dress the way you want to dress. So you can wear a button up and some slacks. You can wear I love turtlenecks, but when it does get warmer outside, I will usually wear my button ups with some, black pants, army green pants, flats, boots, or even sneakers sometimes, depending on how I feel. I'm not a flats girl, so yeah, just see what's best for you, see what works for you, but don't stress too much about your professional attire. Literally, y'all, I be wearing I got my different outfits that I put in rotation. Get you some 2 black pants, get you 2 army green pants. If you like khaki, I personally don't like khaki too much, so just, experiment. Don't feel like you gotta go to Express and get 80 suits, because I'm telling you, once you get in the environment, you're gonna realize, you're gonna see what comfy clothes you like to wear and make it work. So now let's get into it. First things first, let's talk about how you can schedule your day. So I use Frontline. Well, the districts I work for, they use Frontline. Now, whatever district you decide to work for, they are going to use a portal. They're going to have a portal that you have to use to schedule your assignments. Or they may schedule you themselves. If you talk to a school specifically, they'll tell you hey, all right, I'm going to put you in for this day. It still is a portal regardless. Sometimes if you go to school all the time, the same school all the time, you barely have to even use the portal like some substitutes will say. Me personally, I use that portal. I work for 2 districts and I like to create my own schedule. I just like having that control. I like going to different schools every day. So when you walk into I'm not going to show too much just for privacy purposes, but when you walk into the main office, that's the first thing you're going to do. Make sure you know what time you have to be there. So let's say, for example, when you pick up the assignment, it'll let you know what time to report to the school. Usually always go 15 to 20 minutes before the school time starts, but just make sure you're very clear on what time you have to be there. Make sure you have everything in order, and if you're running late, like I did today, just make sure you call and let them know, hey, I'm running late, I'll be there at such and such time. Just professional. Don't just show up and not let them know. So they're going to give you a paper, and it's going to have your name at the top. And that's how you'll know to have your schedule, the periods you're going to be working for, and the attendance. So you're going to pick that paper up from the main office. And let me tell you guys something else. Make sure you sign in. This is how you get paid. For the districts I work for, it's not just about scheduling on the portal, the little platform they use to pick up your assignments. It's also about making sure and verifying that you actually reported to work. So you're going to want to make sure that you sign in, or it could be a sign-in sheet, or it'll be literally like a little electronic punch-in thing. So for one district I work for, I have to sign in, and for the other, it's like I put my little fingerprint and boom, I'm right in, I'm ready to go. Let's get into another important factor. If you want to be a per diem sub or a building-based sub. So a per diem sub, I'm a per diem sub, which means I could go to any school that I want. You need to know your personality. Me, I like versatility. I like risk. I like flexibility. I like freedom. I don't like doing the same thing every day. I hate routine. You may be the exact opposite. You may say, oh, no. I like doing the same classroom every day, being at the same school every day. I don't like meeting new people. So as long as that ain't rooted in fear, being a building base may be best for you. But listen to this though. You don't want, in my opinion, I would not advise you to jump into being a building base before you experimented with the schools, because you'll mess around and become a building base for a school that you don't like. And then because you signed the contract, you got to stay there for a certain period. You got to stay there for a certain amount of time. So make sure you go to each school and vet each school, feel the vibe. Like this school I'm at, I love this school. You're a building base. You always have work. You always gonna, even if it's no teachers, you always have to go to that same school. So you'll always have a job. You always have a job that day, all Monday through Friday. Per diem, there's always schools available. But I'll tell you guys this. The good schools, the schools I love going to, usually, I got to catch them when I catch them. So like I said, I love being at the high schools. So the high schools usually are a little bit, I gotta catch them. It's like how when Jordans used to come out and you stand in line, you gotta hurry up and get them before they run out. That's how it is picking up assignments for high school. But there always is a job available for me. It's not really that serious. There's always a job available. So for me, I'm always working at high schools, which brings me to my next point. Do you prefer working at high schools? Y'all hate, it's like a little green light in my face. Y'all be alright though. This is just for content. This is just so y'all know what to do. So now, do you prefer older kids or younger kids? I knew before I even started something, I preferred older kids because I worked with younger kids so much at daycares, my little cousins, my little sisters. I had a lot of experience with the babies. Now, a lot of people, a lot of subs that I know, they would be in total shock when I say I prefer the older kids. Oh no, I'm not going to the third floor. Oh no, you want the older kids? Oh no. They let the older kids scare them. Now don't get me wrong, the older kids they be bigger than me now. They be bigger than me, but what I like about the older kids is they're independent. So younger kids are very, very needy. They need you every 5 seconds, typically under 7th grade. They're very, very needy and a little bit more rowdy. So I prefer high school specifically. I'm at a high school today. I'm usually always at a high school or middle school, 7th or 8th grade. So make sure you know which grade you prefer, which ages you prefer. And I'm telling you guys, do not fear the big kids. They're not lions and tigers and bears. I'm telling you, once you get in and you see how it is, I'm telling you, you'll love high schools. In my opinion, you'll love high school. Now let's talk about actually starting the day. Okay, get in your class. Oh my goodness. So as a substitute teacher, I've made mistakes and I've also done some things that I'm very proud of. I can honestly say, even though this is to prepare me for where I want to go in life, it is not my stop. It's not my, end point. But I have really learned a lot and gained so much from being a substitute teacher. So let me just tell you guys something. So when you walk inside the classroom, one thing I've learned when I first started substitute teaching, I thought I was kind of in my own head. I was kind of like, it's all about me. I feel like, okay, all I had to do was walk in the classroom, take the attendance, and tell the students what they had to do, sit down, I'll be on my laptop working, blah, 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 blah. But over time, I learned that does not suffice. Even though this is not where I want to be in life, I have to make sure I'm giving my all and being there for these kids. So that looks like being attentive and showing up and being present in the classroom. Now, you don't have to be a micromanager. You don't got to be no security guard or no police officer. But these are things that I do, especially now. I'm at a new school. I usually go to my other schools. So when you walk in, right, a lot of kids, they look at me like, who is this? You introduce yourself. Hi, everybody. Hello, my name is Miss Jenkins. How are you? And, they just be like, I'm good. Okay, good. Or sometimes you might get awkward silence. Sometimes you might get the class that's turned up. Oh, good. How are you? And then, okay, so now you make sure you take your attendance. If you are doing first period, make sure you send the attendance downstairs because they usually need that attendance. If you have a first period class, you can either have a student go down, take it down, or you could literally just write the 2 names of the students, because usually be like a couple students that's absent, and write their names down and just send it down, or you could call them, just depending. Some schools are different, but the professional right way to do it is to just send a student down once you have all the attendance. So yeah, make sure you do that. Another thing, when you put your attendance, you want to make sure that you don't have to send it down immediately. Give it a little bit of time, especially first period, because you want to give kids enough time to come in, because you don't want to send it out too early. And you got like 8 kids that come in, you already sent the attendance down. So just give it a little bit of time. If the period starts at 8:15, send the attendance down like 9:15, 9 o'clock. So that way you got all the students in, all the students that are there in. Now, let's get to the actual start of the day. So you took your attendance. Now it's time for you to do some icebreakers and kind of get the kids to know you a little bit. So this is what I always do. I go around and I get the names of each student. I go to each one by one, and I try to assign their face with their name, because sometimes I'm like bad with names. So I try to make sure I go to each individual student and get their name. The next thing I do is I ask a ice-breaking question, maybe a would you rather question, or I ask a would you rather question. So for example, today I said, All right, when it comes to your job, would you rather work a job where do you think you should enjoy what you do? It's not really a would you rather question, but it's kind of opinion question to get them thinking. There's no right or wrong answer. Would you rather should you enjoy what you do, or as long as you make the money, that's enough? And mind you, I also ask this question on my Instagram, so I do the same thing. So the stuff I do on Instagram, I sometimes do in the classroom. So go around, get their wheels turning, and then they answer the questions. That's how y'all connect. Now, you do everything you need to do. Okay, attendance is done, icebreaker questions is done, and make sure you converse with the students and make sure they know what they have to do. And make sure you let them know. Every time I'm also in the classes and the work is assigned, I let the kids know, hey, if you need help, I'm here. Ask me. I will help you. So let them know too that you're there for them. This is something I had to work on. Let's talk about disciplining. Now, typically, like I just had a high school class, 2 high school classes. They were allowed. All I had to do to tell them was to, calm down and stop cursing. But other than that, they were not off the walls. Now, when I have middle school and younger, like elementary and pre-K and all that, I have to walk around consistently. So now, even in high school, you can walk around a little bit here and there, but to really have good classroom management, because I remember before, I used to just be on my laptop all day, and I used to get so mad when I had to get up and walk around because the kids were being rowdy. But honestly, that's what you have to do with the younger grades. You have to be very present and walk around and see what they're doing, talk to them. High school, you really don't got to worry much. But now let's get into middle school. Making sure you're walking around a classroom, making sure the students are doing their work. I was like real chill when I first started, a little lenient. But I had to really learn. Like example, like a girl would come up to me and be like, can you help me with my essay? And I'm helping her, and you building connections with the kids, because if not, they'll feel like you don't really care. And I went to one school and I was so shocked, because this was actually when I came across the epiphany that I need to be more present. I went to one school and the other sub told me, like, wow, I really love you, because they could tell that you really care, because other subs just come in and be on their phone. So you guys, you definitely don't want to be like that. So like I said, it's nothing wrong with getting on your phone. Like I'll be on my phone. I usually get a laptop. If you have a laptop, that is so much better than using your phone in the classroom, because it looks more professional. Also, I recommend too, getting a book as well. I'm always reading. And when the students see that, that will, kind of subconsciously probably get in their minds like, okay, she's doing what she's studious. Let me do what I was supposed to do. So usually if the kids are sitting down, they real chill, I'll get a book out or I'll be on my laptop. But one thing you don't want to do is to just be real laxed on your phone, being lazy, because kids could read that. So I was very happy that those kids noticed that. And over time, I'm telling you, you really will. I care about the kids. I care about what they perceive, and I care about them. Even though this is not what I want to do, I do care a lot about the kids. Now, one thing I always do is give the kids something to look forward to. So when they're doing their assignments, guys, remember, we're talking about grades 7 and under. High school, you don't need to do all this. But 7 and under, give them something to look forward to. Okay, so once you give them their assignment, tell them, okay, when everybody is done, I will play a game called Silent Ball, the quiet game. I will take them outside if the school permits. Let them watch a movie. Give them something to look forward to and allow them to work together. Another thing I would do in terms of discipline, guys, like I said, this was my weak point. I had to work on this. Let's say, for example, I was about to take them outside. If I had the real rowdy classes, I usually had to do this. So, all right, I'll have them line up. If they line up real loud, I'll either have them sit back down, or I had them line up and we won't go downstairs or go outside or do the fun activity till everybody's quiet for 2 minutes. I'll set the time for 2 minutes. Somebody talk, I start it again. Somebody talk, I start it again. Somebody talk, I start it again. But typically the grades 7 and under love Silent Ball. That's a really good game. Basically, I had a kid stand up. They have to be quiet. They throw the ball around and they pass the ball to each student, but they cannot talk. If they drop the ball, they're out. They typically love that game, and that's good to have them, something to look forward to so they'll get their work done. Make sure they're actually getting their work done and that you're monitoring their performance too. Just, here and there. Some schools are more strict on this than others. So just kind of be aware of that as well. Let's get into like if you really got a real rowdy kid. Now, if I got a real disrespectful kid, the kid goes straight to the main office. I don't really try to do too much. I know walking around, little behavior like talking a lot, being loud, cursing, stuff that I could handle in a classroom, I just handle. But if this like straight up disrespect, like I remember one time I was at a school and And it's crazy because it's so crazy because with all the kids that had this behavioral issues, we like super tight. But I was in a classroom, kids were not listening, and I was walking towards the phone, and a kid, eighth grader, he bigger than me. He coming behind me like, ah, like, yo, really tormenting me because the class was just off the hook. But what I did, I called that disciplinarian. That disciplinarian came and got them kids under control. So, like I said, know what you can handle and be independent. Don't call the main office for every little thing, but also know what you cannot handle too. Like, typically, I can handle most discipline problems, most behavioral issues, but if it's too out of hand, I am not afraid to call the main office or the disciplinary. So make sure you know who to call as well before you start your class. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, I give the kids like a 3 times each. I haven't did this in a while, but if they're cursing too much or if they're doing something inappropriate, I would have them write a 3 times each sheet. They have to write if they're cursing, stop cursing, stop cursing, stop cursing, stop cursing, like 3 times on the paper. They're not listening, I'll have them write, I'm a good listener, I'm a good listener, I'm a good listener, I'm a good listener, 3 times each down the paper. Like, I'll write 2 lines, they gotta write it in 3 columns. That's how I do it. That's, like I said, that works for the real younger kids. Older kids, like I said, 8th grade and up, nah, you don't need to do all that. So now let's get into something else. Classroom management, another thing. Let's say one kid actually go to the bathroom. Like I said, you will deal with this 7th grade and up. One kid actually go to the bathroom. I typically like to let 2 kids go out at the same time, or one. If it's a real rowdy class, 1 class at a time. And if a class is also very rowdy, I call it a business deal. All right, nobody's going to the bathroom till everybody settles down. Because first things first, you might have kids who come in real rowdy. And then you might have kids coming up to your face, ask, can I go to the bathroom? Can I go here? Can I go there? I'll be like, nope. Sit down and be quiet, and then I'll let y'all go to the bathroom. That make a little deal with them, work something out, and they'll listen if you do that. They even help you out. Y'all sit down, and I'll be like, listen, worry about yourself, okay? But you'll have some kids that the kids will listen to more than they'll listen to you. Like them alpha classmates. I'm telling you, I had experience. It was this one girl. When I tell you that class listened to her, all she had to do was say something once, and them kids submitted in 5 seconds. It was like she was like Miss Trunchbull or Matilda. I said, well, oh my goodness, these kids listen to her better than they listen to me. And 2, don't be afraid to have a kid help you out, like the leader of the classroom, of course, responsibly and respectfully, but sometimes too, because even teachers do that. They'll have a classroom leader to help them out, with disciplines and assignments and stuff like that. Another thing too, let more than 2 students out at a time. Make sure you really monitoring, because you'll have so many kids. They'll try to leave for every little thing. They'll try to go place. Like I said, I'm real chill. Like, if you got to go to the bathroom, okay, go to the bathroom. 2 students at a time, 1 student at a time. 1 student is if the class is out a little rowdy. 2 kids, high school, go ahead, because they mature, they all right. But middle school, you got to really be on it. You don't want to send too many kids out at once. I remember I was so lenient. Like, I was sending like 2 kids to go drop a paper off to the main office. Like, you ain't have to do all that. Like I said, just real lenient. So make sure you're really monitoring that. So I'm in a different room now. We just had a fire drill. So I want to give you guys another tip. So another thing, like I said, I struggled with my discipline. I was very lenient in the beginning of my sub journey, to where the kids kind of looked at me as one of them. And of course, I know I do have a baby face, but also it was my demeanor and the way I was bonding with them. I am real centered in love, and I feel like building a connection with them and showing love is amazing. That's how you actually get them to respect you. But I did fall into the category of just being a little too loving and not really applying that discipline when needed. So you want these kids to take you serious. And I remember was critiqued on that. Like, these kids see you as one of them. I don't know why they treat you that way. And you know why? That was showing me that I struggled with people pleasing, that I needed to work on my people pleasing, setting boundaries, and sticking my guns. So when I went through that at one school, which is the school I started subbing at, and I was going to different schools too, but I was mainly going to that school. And then when I went to other schools, I started really being serious. That's really inspired me to get myself together. And those kids know, and they can tell that you really love them. So don't be afraid to discipline them when necessary. So for example, when you end your day, leave a note for the teacher. If the kid caused you a lot of problems, aside from sending them to the disciplinarian, you can also leave a note for the teacher. You can write their name on the board. Like I said, 8th grade and under. write their name on the board, send them to the office, do what needs to be done, because those kids know that. Even I noticed, even when I was disciplining them and doing what needed to be done, that was all out of love, and nothing really changes. They actually could grow to respect you and love you even more. So I was kind of afraid of sending them to the office, afraid of giving them disciplinary, enforcing discipline, because I didn't want to do too much. But I'm telling you, that is very necessary, because I was seeing like how those kids viewed me at that old school was really a reflection of how much boundaries I lacked and how I just didn't enforce enough discipline. So I encourage you guys to do this too. When you enforce discipline, the kids majority of the time will not hate you. You're doing it out of love, because what I realized was by me letting them get over on me and doing the same thing over and over, that was hurting them. So I want you guys to remember that. Another thing, get you a voice amplifier. Some classes get real rowdy. My voice is real. I'm very soft spoken, so you need a voice amplifier. When them kids hear that, they be looking around like, what is that? And they'll listen, because it's nice and loud. You get these from Amazon. It's about $35 if you're soft spoken naturally. Please get you one of those. They really do work and they really do help. Let's talk about when the kids are finished with their assignment. You handed the assignment, you did the attendance, the kids finished their assignment, you got your classroom management in place. Now the kids are ready to leave. So make sure you have this here. This is something I was always serious about, to be honest. I slipped a couple times, but make sure you have the kids clean up behind themselves. I am so sick, because this will piss me off when the kids are leaving. I don't pay attention and I forget, and the classroom looks an absolute mess. Like, let me show the classroom looks an absolute mess. Like, let me show y'all. Y'all see how, neat the classroom looks? The tables are clean. The kids just left second period. So you want to make sure that you have the kids clean up behind themselves, because when teachers come back and they classroom is a mess, that is unfair to them. I had experiences where key teachers were mad with me because I forgot. So just please make sure that you have the kids clean up behind themselves. Please, please, please know how everything was. All right, guys, pushing your chairs. All right, guys, don't leave nothing behind. And even when they leave, and I still got to check. Wait, who water bottle is that? Wait, who this is that? Who that is that? And they be like, oh, that's mine. Oh, that's mine. Because you always have students come back. Did I leave a sweater in here? And that's because they rushing out, not paying attention. And I did that too as a kid. So another thing too, like I said, once you end your day, you leave your note for the classroom teacher and let her know how everything went. Make sure the classroom is clean. Let her know. You don't have to do this all the time, but typically if there was a lot of physical copies, a lot of work assigned, I do think that doing this a lot, but sometimes you don't really need to. But if you had some problems with the kids, write the kids who gave you the problems, write what happened. Also, make sure you give recognition to the kids that were doing a great job. Like I always start off with, dear so-and-so, it was a pleasure subbing your class. I gave them the assigned work. They completed it. Then we did this, then we did this, then we did this. And boom, boom, boom. Here's the list of the kids that were giving me a hard time. Or here's a list of the kids that were disruptive. Have a great day, or have a great day. Warm regards, Miss Jenkins. Something like that. Real sweet and simple. You don't want to write a treaty, okay? Too, guys. Make sure you have rules, too. Know your rules, like know your boundaries, know stuff that you won't tolerate. You'll notice after your first day, you'll start seeing, like for me, it's not talking so loud. Another thing, too, you might have kids that come in eating junk. I'm about to start cutting this out, too. Like usually I don't really care when kids eat in the classroom as long as they pick it up. Rules are do not talk loud. Don't just walk out of the classroom. I cannot stand that. Let me know where you're going. Don't just walk out, because I'm chill. But it's like, if you just walking out, you're not letting me know. I do not allow that. Another thing is too, no hitting, no fighting, and no cursing. If I hear a kid cursing, like, watch him out, watch him out, watch him out, watch him out, watch him out. I'll tell them over and over. And I would give that 3 times, write your 3 times each. They're cursing too much and they're not learning. So that's another thing. Have a little set of rules. Like I said, you don't got to be militant. Don't act like we're not in the military, all right? But just basically make sure you communicate those rules before the class starts so the kids are aware. Yes, the kids will break them sometimes, but that's where you have to come in and really set your boundaries and stand on business and let them know that it is some type of consequence for it, whether that be you checking them, whether that be you moving them, whether that be you giving them 3 times each, whether that be the class won't be able to play the game, or whether that be they won't get a snack. That's another thing I do too. I always get the kids prizes, snacks, stuff like that. especially in this is really good for kids 8th grade and under. High school, like I said, is lax. You do not have to do all this. Same applies as your classroom management and building a connection with them. Make sure you take attendance for every class. So I used to just do it for first period, but just do it for every class. And then towards the end of the day, you're going to give your attendance to the main office. You're going to go downstairs, give your attendance to the main office, and then make sure you punch out. If it's a electronic punch out, make sure you punch out. If you did a sign-in sheet, you don't need to punch out. Another thing too, I want to remind you guys, let me put some lip gloss on to remind you guys of is if you bring your own lunch, which is what I do, make sure the school has a refrigerator, because oh my God, I had one school and a couple schools don't have a refrigerator. So you, like for example, I got a salad for lunch today, and if you bring you a salad and you go to a school without a refrigerator, you finna be in trouble, because that salad gonna go bad. So, or any food that has to be warmed up, you gonna be in trouble, because you don't want to get salmonella and food poisoning because you done kept the food in your bag and then warmed it up and it was in your bag for about 6 hours. So just make sure too that school has a refrigerator for your lunch. Make sure you decompress after each class, or especially if you had a rough class, make sure you decompress. Some schools have the lounges or woosah rooms that you could go into, or you could just decompress in the classroom if you had a real rowdy day, depending on your personality type. But me, I'm very sensitive to energy, so when I have a real crazy day, chaotic day with the kids, I have to decompress and be by myself to just recharge. So just make sure when you have a lot of time, like for example, I think I got like 4 free periods to myself. So I use this time, like I said, I'm in high school, so it's pretty chill. But if I was in middle school and I had a real rowdy class, I'd take a free period, no electronics, no phone, and just kind of relax and decompress so I can be better for the next class. Another thing I want to talk about too is making sure, because you're working with kids, it requires a lot of energy. So make sure even your morning routine is great. So one thing I do in the morning all the time is I work out and I meditate. I work out for about 10-15 minutes and then I meditate. I give myself that time to rest and get my brain, because if you wake up, you have a hectic morning, you wake up late, you running around, rushing around. This is for any job, but especially when you work with kids. You running around, you're late for everything, you getting dressed in 2 minutes, you get in the car, you heading to work, you getting upstairs, you grabbing the time, you rushing because you're late. Then you get with a rowdy class, that would be a disaster. So just make sure every morning you taking the time to decompress, wake up on time, do what you got to do, exercise, meditate, work out, whatever you need to do to kind of decompress, prayer. You can, whatever works for you, but just make sure you have that woosah time before you get around kids. Another thing, a supplement, I'm going to tell y'all, vitamin D works wonder. Vitamin D is a very good supplement to take. It gives you a lot of energy and magnesium. Last things first, I want to give you guys the tips on if there's no work at all. So let's say, because this happened to me several times. It happens so much, I don't even care. So usually whatever class it is, let's say if it's Spanish, I'll put on a Spanish video on YouTube. I'll go around, ask the kids, what does red mean in Spanish? What does blue mean in Spanish? What does green mean in Spanish? Tell me, all right, get up here. Tell me your favorite color in Spanish. Okay, get up here. Your outfit. Tell me all the color outfits you have on in Spanish. You guys got to improvise. You can do it. Whatever class it is, teaching them something in that class, especially, like I said, 8th grade and younger. Over 8th grade, they usually chill. So you can kind of do a little, like I said, do a little lesson, but you don't have to be as, you don't have to do so much. But typically, if you have grades younger than that, you do need to have a lesson throughout that whole class, something for them to do to keep them occupied. So yes. Another thing too, play Would You Rather. I would play games with them. Would you rather? Or I'm thinking of a number from 8 to 10. Or I'm thinking of a store where everything is $5. What store am I thinking of? Play games with them. That is also very interactive to do, and helps build a bond with you and those kids. Hey y'all, another thing I want to say too for discipline or classroom management, if the kids come in from lunch, or if they come in from recess, or if they come in from gym, they usually be a little rowdy and turned up. So they get the class to listen really fast. You could count down. All right, everybody sit down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom, and the kids be scattering, trying to hurry up and get to their seats. So that's a good way to get the kids to listen really quickly so you can get things started. Hey guys, another thing too, every day as a substitute teacher is a different day. I'm a security guard, a hall monitor, I'm coming in here to check if your air purifier, your windows closed are on, I do arts and crafts, bulletin boards. I put up bulletin boards. I do it all. I'll be a teacher's assistant. I'll be a class. And see, this is why subbing suits me. Because, like I said, it's not where I want to be for the rest of my life, but it fits my values. Change, risk, flexibility, freedom. So know who you are and know what you need and know what you desire. Prepare for a different day. Like some days you would come in, you might not even be in a classroom. Some days you might be filing paperwork. I'm telling you, I done did it all. I was the office clerk, everything. I done just about everything as a substitute teacher. So if that annoys you, if you like, I'm not finna be doing all that, make sure you set that boundary, be very clear. You'll be fine. Another thing is, y'all, look, see? I think this is a fire drill. What in the world? Okay, class, let's get ready to pack up. You guys, do you guys take those laptops home? You take the laptops home? Okay. All right, guys, make sure you don't leave anything behind. Are you guys excited for things here? Leave test? I know you do a nice break. All right, guys, y'all too loud. Bring it down. Bring it down. Okay, guys, I need y'all. Bring it down. Y'all so loud. Bring it down. Y'all can pack up. Y'all can talk, but don't be too loud. Okay?
What about our homes?
No, I was just saying, what's your number?
Oh.
The water bottle is that back there. Get the water bottles, those color pencils. Guys, don't leave nothing behind. Who water bottle is that right there? Okay. And who's color pencil?
They were comparing them to different classes.
Y'all get those up?
Yeah, bring them to class.
You guys, clean them up and put them that. Make sure you put your chairs in. This is extra paper. Is this anybody's paper? No? Okay. Y'all, listen to the announcement. Excuse me. Guys, listen.
Yeah, bro.
Attention all boys, if you're interested in basketball, there will be tryouts. Have a great rest of your day and Chargers roll out.
Guys, anybody leave a water bottle? Yes. It was a water bottle right here. Nobody left it? All right, have a good day, guys. Have a good day. Get home safe. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. There's nobody's water, right? Basically, I want to give you a few more tips. So next thing, make sure you pack up about 5 to 10 minutes before you leave. So this could be before they transition to the next class or before they leave for the day. So that way it's not a lot of students just in the classroom and you ready to go or another class is coming in. So I just wanted to let you guys know that too. Another tip, guys, do eat light. Because you want to make sure you have enough energy as possible. Eat how you want to eat, but one thing that has helped me throughout the day is making sure I'm hydrated. You know, you eating fruits and stuff or eating just light stuff, because when I eat heavy, it just makes me so tired and drained. Next tip, guys, usually the schools that are desperate, meaning you might go to a school and they might try to sign and hire you that first day. They're like, oh, can you come work with us? Oh, can you be a building based sub? Can you come in? Blah, 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 right? Them usually the schools that's off the hook. Okay, so just make sure, like I said, going back to building based and per diem, make sure you vet the schools, evaluate them, see if you really want to be there before you fully commit. Next thing, as the students are leaving your class, you know, look them in the eye, say goodbye. Even when they come in, look them in the eye, say hello. So, you know, they feel really seen. The next thing is this job requires a lot of movement. Y'all see I'm in a whole different class. I was in 3 classes today and it's a lot of walking up and down the stairs. So be prepared for that too. It's a lot of exercise, which I honestly like because I love working out. So, but just be prepared for that. It's a lot of moving around. The benefits of this job. So, The benefits of becoming a substitute teacher, let me tell you guys. Number one, you gain a lot of confidence. Getting up in front of the class and speaking to students every single day, having eyes on you every single day, you are going to gain confidence. You're also going to gain adaptability skills. Y'all see, I was in about 6 different classes today, even doing different things every single day. Like I said, some days I'm a security guard, other days I'm a secretary, other days I'm the freaking electrician, making sure not like touching the sockets, but making sure everything is in place. The teacher's following the protocol for the day or whatever. So you're definitely going to gain some adaptability skills, learning how to switch up, you know, going from a middle school teacher to high school teacher. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so.
Like my classroom?
Yes.
This
Wait, this is your class? Okay.
I'm just up there for that one class.
All right. Okay. And the last benefit, definitely developing assertion skills, learning how to speak up for yourself and set boundaries and rules that you abide by. So this is another day. I just wanted to bring y'all along to kind of show y'all, like, I'm at a whole completely different school, and I'm doing, I believe, let's check, 8th grade today, thank God. I didn't show you. This is the class. 8th grade is pretty okay. Yep. See you guys later. As well, you can work on stuff for you too. So let's say if you're working on a book, you're working on a project, even if you in this job and you're in college, you know, you get a lot of, like right now, I got free time. Like I make videos, I make my content, I work on my courses, I read books. So just know too, you do have a lot of you do get some free time on this job too, but that doesn't mean that this is just like a free-for-all. You know what I'm saying? So that's a lesson I had to learn. Guys, that concludes all my tips for becoming a substitute teacher. So this will help you if it's your first day, even if you're still a sub, you've been a sub for a minute. These are some tips that I had to learn, some strategies I had to learn to become better. Like I said, just make sure after every end of the day, you know you did your best and you was there and you helped those kids. You shaping their lives. Even though you're a sub, you might not see it. You are shaping those lives. Those kids remember a lot of stuff. I tell them, I'm always saying, be studious, be studious. They'll come up to me like, Miss Jenkins, you being studious? Like they remember stuff like that. They're going to remember you forever. Because I know all my teachers, I remember them still to this day. Substituting for the most part is a very chill job, but that doesn't mean you do not take it serious. These are kids at the end of the day, kids' lives you are shaping and molding. So take that serious. And I don't even realize how much of an impact I'm making them kids' lives until they tell me. So, because I'm just looking like, I'm a sub, I ain't no teacher, leave me alone. But nah, you really do be impacting. Just make sure you did the best that day. Other than that, guys, that's it. I wish you the absolute best. Be prepared to just have a great time. Meet amazing people, make an impact, and be the best that you could possibly be. I would love to hear your tips for becoming an effective substitute teacher. If it's your first day, please let me know. I would love to assist you and help you out. It's your girl, Hago. I'm signing out. Peace.